Okay, so we're going to learn how to put captions on GIFs. So first, you just got to drag the GIF that you saved onto your computer into Photoshop. There we go. This is Stephen Colbert. Make sure to have the right windows open. So you would go to, what would you go to? You go to Windows and you have to make sure the Layer tab is open and as well open the timeline. So after you do that, go ahead and play through the GIF just to take a look at it. You see Stephen Colbert waving there. What I like to do here is click onto the first frame of the GIF right here and make sure the last layer on this side is selected. And after that, all you gotta do is click the T, which is text obviously, and then we're going to type out the text that we want to appear on the GIF. Now, I like to keep the font simple as white, but you can do anything you really want there. So when you're putting a caption on, you want to have a decently bold type of text. So right now, it is Helvetica bold, and let's make that a little smaller. Let's make it a 50. That should be good. And when you're curating GIFs and when you're making GIFs, make sure to put a lot of variety in your fonts. Don't stick with just one. So right now I'm using Helvetica, but if you're going to make a large collection of GIFs, try out a bunch of different fonts so there's variety in what you have. So let's go ahead and type out the text. Let's just do a simple hello. Let me make that bold so it stinks out more. And let's go ahead and make that font slightly bigger. The bigger the font, the better, unless it takes over the space of the actual actions going on the GIF. So that will do. Let's put it in a nice position. I like to center it right there. Okay, so after you adjusted the font, what you want to do here is control click the text on the layer tab and select blending option. Now you got a choice here, like you can choose between stroke or drop shadow. And again, when you're making a lot of GIFs, it's good to put variety in both the font and the blending option. So you would want some that are using the stroke or some that are using the drop shadow. So let's use stroke for now. Okay, we click on stroke. We have a 3-pixel stroke size, and that's pretty good. You want to keep it at a 3 or a 2 usually. And go ahead and press OK. After you press OK, go ahead and press this FX button right here. It's unifying layer styles, which would create that blending option that we just put onto the GIF on every frame of the GIF. And there you go. You got Stephen Colbert saying hello. Now, you want to adjust the text, say that you want it in a different position. Make sure to click on the first frame, and this will move the GIF or move the caption in every other frame. So I adjusted the hello, I moved it over to the left here, and now it shows up on every frame. Now, if you make an adjustment on a frame that isn't the first frame, it will kind of mess up the rest of the GIF. Because if I'm on the 9th frame right now, and I'm going to move the hello. But once you do that, the hello only moves on the 9th frame. So that's not something that we want. So we can go ahead and edit, step backwards, and that should do it. We can test out the other blending option, which is drop shadow. I can get rid of the stroke if I want the drop shadow. So the drop shadow gives it a nice little shadow on the GIF. You can make it bigger with this scroll, or smaller. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. FX button is clicked, so it will appear on every GIF. Now, let's say I want the text to show up on a certain frame. I don't want this hello text to be throughout the whole GIF. All I gotta do is select the frames that I don't want the hello text to be on. Let's say I want it to appear on frame 7, so I want to take off 1 through 6. I just shift click 1. Let me do it again. So I clicked 1, I'm holding the shift button down, and then I'm clicking on 6. Unclick the I right here on the hello, and that will get rid of the hello for the first 6 frames. So it pop up on the 7th frame. And I can do this for the end too, if I want the text to end quickly. So I'm taking the text away from frame 16 to 20. So now you get the hello, and it disappears. You can also make GIFs faster if you select them, and then if you see how there's a 0.1 second delay, you can make that slower by increasing the number. So if I change 0.1 to 0.2, it's going to go twice as slow. There we go. And if I select all the frames again, and instead of 0.1, I want to make it go quicker. Let me select the frames again. I want to make it go quicker, maybe twice as quick. I'm going to change 0.1 to 0.05. And this should make the GIF go twice as fast. And there we go. And that's about all the information I have about captioning and GIFs for now. Thanks for listening.